What's a fan experience like when they come to one of your games?
Well, number one, we have a DJ, and he's playing music during the whole time. There's stopping action. The players are personable. We sign autographs either before or after the game. During the halftime show, we normally invite the people in the stands to come down to the track and participate in whatever the dance is of the day. So it's a lot of fan interaction during the entire experience.
All right, I'm going to read off a few of these facts here. We could go the whole half hour and read off your bio. It's unbelievable. 17 consecutive postseason appearances in the playoffs in the national tournament, regional championship, 2 league championship, 2 conference championships, 8 division champions. Is it ever enough, or what is? I guess what drives you to keep going with all this?
We're shooting for the world championship, and we have not accomplished that, and that's what we're shooting for now. That's the best in the United States among the 400 or 500 teams that's out there in the United States. That's what we're shooting for. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we've been 12-3, 10-2, 12-3. We want to go undefeated, and then we'll be at the top. So the challenge is always there to go undefeated or win that world championship.
You look at certain players in the NFL, you look at coaches in the NFL and in the college ranks that will just say, I'm either staying in the game or I'm just going to pack it up and walk away. As a coach, with your mindset, what do these guys go through? Because a lot of people go, hey, they have all the money in the world. They've done what they can do. They've won some championships, but still they continue to come back.
It's a passion. And once you obtain the knowledge and it's a passion for you, you want to stay in the game as long as you're able to. As long as your health holds up, you want to stay in the game. You look at the Bobby Bowdens, the Paternos. I love those guys. They give me inspiration to continue going and going and going. But it's a passion. It's something you truly enjoy doing. You know it like the back of your hand. And it's a chess match,
What about the players as far as a respect level for yourself? You being around for so long in the game, and then these kids coming out of high school, do they look at you and look at this resume and go, this guy knows what he's talking about?
Pretty much. I've had a couple of guys who coach and a couple of former pro guys looking for jobs, coaching, and they said, Chief, as soon as I get a head coaching job, you're the first guy I'm going to call because you know the game. And I respect that and I appreciate it. They know, I pretty much know what I'm talking about. They know I study the game. I don't tell them to do things that I haven't tweaked and looked at more than once or twice.
Is it more of a mental game or is it more of a physical game as you study and try to pass this knowledge to the kids?
Well, it's more mental on my part and naturally more physical on their part. But we try to tell the players to get their mind right, and then we condition during the off season to get themselves physically right. And then we come together, we do the technical part of it, get everybody on the same page.
As you pull this together, do you find that you adjust things as you go due to maybe the ability of a player at a certain position?
Oh, yeah. We don't ask guys to do things that during practice we see it as out of their realm of accomplishing. And I tell the guys all the time, if I need somebody to run out there to fill in, don't go if you don't know what you're doing. And we'll understand that. We won't be mad at you. But if you go, make sure you handle the assignment. And it's like anything in life.
What would get you to that next level? I know you've been around St. Louis for a long time, have a lot of commitments here, but if an NFL team came knocking, what would pull you away?
I would go. I wouldn't turn it down because I'm pretty much I'm at the top of the minor league level right now, and I'm well respected by my peers, East Coast, West Coast, and I always get the calls, Chief, will you come here and be our head coach? I just finished in December. I was the head coach for the minor league football News Hall of Fame game in Las Vegas, and it was the first year I'd been the head coach. But Team USA that plays international, the people that organize and run that organization, they called me and said, hey, would you be our head coach in Vegas? And I went to Vegas this past December, a similar team over a couple of days, and we beat the team 51-0. So, and they were very proud of that, and man, we never had a score like that. So I know that I could help another team at another level, whether it's NFL or even college. I know I could run an organization, or I could be a team player if it's just a position coach. But a lot of times you got to know folks to get to that next level, get to that college level, you got to know people. And so I just kind of stay and keep the Bulldogs, try to make them the best minor league football team we can be at this time.
What do you say to kids maybe just starting out, in Pee Wee football, kind of working themselves up through the ranks about keeping their mind in school and, keeping their bodies prepared and moving on to that next level, because there's hundreds and thousands of kids out there all shooting for that same dream?
Mm-hmm. If you're going to play sports, and not just football, any sport, you got to condition. You got to run. You got to get your body stronger. That means you got to, the intake, your food, your nutrition has to be where it should be. So you can't eat a lot of the sweets, all the cookies and the candy, and all the ice cream. You got to, if you're going to be an athlete and you want to play sports, those things are good in moderation. So you start working out, conditioning yourself, learning the basics, the foundation. Like building a house, you got to put a good foundation down before you can build the top part of it.
As youngsters, what's the best age, do you think, to start maybe a youngster in football? You hear a lot of these guys didn't start till they got into high school, and they are just as good as some of the guys who started out when they were 5 and 6 in Pee Wee football. Is there a good age to get started?
Well, I would look at the 9-10 age group, because you can, most of the time those kids can understand what the coach is telling them, and then they have the mindset to take in and start to move in the right direction for as, well, coach said I need to not do this and do this. And they're more alert, they're more responsive to when, as a coach, tell them things to do on the field. They're more alert about, well, yeah, we want this and we want that, but they're not out in the middle of the field picking up the grass and watching the lilies blow in the wind. When you have the younger one, that's what they do a lot of times. I coach Little League Baseball, and you look out there and your center fielders watching the birds, and there go the ball. So when they get to 9-10, they're a little more attentive. Mm-hmm.
Are you a guy who makes predictions for like the upcoming year? Like if I ask you what your goal for this year is, do you say undefeated, or are you the type of guy who goes, I go out there and give my best and whatever happens, happens?
No, we set goals for ourselves on the team, and the goal this past season, 09, was go undefeated. Well, we didn't make it, but we didn't make it because teams beat us. We didn't make it because of mistakes we made. And so for 2010, again, our goal is the World Championship, the win the World Bowl in our league. We know we have the team to go undefeated, and so we set our standards high. We don't set it low, we set it high, and we try to achieve those as we go through the season. And I'll tell the guys, we want an undefeated season. That's what we shoot for, undefeated season. If we fall short of it, it won't be because another team beat us. It'll be because our shortcomings. And we kind of equate that to life. And we do a lot of those things with the organization, with the team. Life skills, getting yourself prepared for the future.
Can you tell maybe during the season if a player has maybe lost interest or just lost, they call it the it factor? Can you tell if they've lost that? And what do you do with something like that? You let them go because it maybe hurts the team?
They'll eliminate themselves. And I'll pull them to the side when I see a guy not putting out in practice, and I'll ask him, is something going on in your life that you're not focusing on what you're doing here? Because if you go on the football field not focused, you'll get yourself hurt, easily get yourself hurt. Because those guys are flying around. That's a lot of pressure, a lot of pounds coming at you when you're out playing that football. And so a lot of times the guy will say, oh, well, I got things in my mind. Well, I'll tell him, hey, take care of things that's on your mind first before you come out here. Because when you come out here, you got to be focused.